So, from our perspective here on planet Earth, the sun keeps on moving around, or its backdrop moves, and now into gateway number 4. So we're in the lower right corner of the wheel here. We've just gone past gateway number 7, the gate of uniformity. And here we are, Khan, water, danger, and Lughnasadh, the celebration in the northern hemisphere for harvesting, the summer season, the height of the summer, all kinds of parties, get-togethers. So the significance of hexagram or gateway number 4 in human design is the gate of solutions. And the literal translation from the Chinese is youthful folly, right? Youthful folly. And the idea behind that, as far as I can make out, is you cannot solve things with mental solutions, not in the long term. You can do quick fixes, you can do band-aids, right? You can manage things on a temporary basis, but long term, and we're talking here about satisfaction, it takes much more than gateway number 4 to just resolve something or other. So mental solutions, supposedly logical solutions, because in human design it's in the logic circuitry, and then youthful folly. So always bear that in mind. We've been taught in school very much, problem solution, problem solution, problem solution forever. So we've got really drawn to our mind, but we get to realize that really there's no real satisfaction in this solution mechanism that we have. It's a quick fix at best. Doesn't mean to say it can't be a very good quick fix, but it is just that. For lasting solutions, as we know, we have to go somewhere else in our being to find that. But let's have a look-see. Let's have a look at this personal life theme of explanation with the sun in gateway number 4 and the earth in gateway number 49, the gate of revolution. And there's something very profound to be understood about the 49. In my review of it, it has 3 levels of working, 3 levels of awareness. So in its lowest level, it's outright rejection. Don't like you, don't like anything about you, don't want to hear about you, don't want to know your argument, you're not in. You're not in my life, not interesting. Right? Rejection, outright rejection. I've drawn a line in the sand here. You don't get in. Right? It can be very abrupt like that. It's almost like a knee-jerk no. Then we have the concept of revolution. And revolution basically means things go round and round and round. So we know, for example, with the Russian Revolution, nothing changed. We've now got Tsar Vladimir, all the oligarchs, and the peasants. I mean, I don't mean that to be rude to the Russians, but there are definitely the lower classes in Russia, same as there are everywhere in the world. But revolution, same thing, goes round and round and round. Nothing ever changes in the long term. The highest form of the 49 is the rebel. The rebel, works as an individual, not as a crowd, not as a demonstration, as an individual. That I see what's going on, I'm keeping an eye on it, but I'm not buying it. I'm not jumping in. Do not rely on my vote. I'm not fan material, but that is really the highest form of it. Now, we can see in worldly terms, we've all been encouraged to react, to cause revolution. Something massive's got to change, but as long as it keeps going round and round, it doesn't become an evolution. And so something very, very important about the 49 is the highest end of it, the rebel, is causing evolution in consciousness. Okay? So then on the unconscious sun side, we have gateway number 23 in the throat center, the voice of I know, and the unconscious earth in the 43, the third eye center, if you will, and the connection, the 43-23, expressing insight, individual expression of insight. So this particular life theme has constantly this channel between the mind and the throat through this expression of, as an insight comes in, out it comes. And people with this unconscious don't necessarily know what it is that's going to come through, right? They just hear themselves say everything and people go, huh, what's that? What you're telling us, can't we just go along with something else that other people think? Like, can't we just believe in the same kind of thing? And the 43-20 is, no, I all about. So this particular channel, the 4323, in the unconscious form, can very often just blurt stuff out. No idea where it comes from, but it can really change the mood, let's just say. So what we always say to people with this particular life theme, and to watch ourselves during this passage of the sun going through this life theme of explanation, be very alert to what it is you say, right? Watch what it is that comes through. And probably the most important thing about this channel is tone of voice. It's very acoustic. It's in the individual circuit. It can change things. It can transform things. But tone of voice is the absolute key to allowing that channel to express things really well. So here we are. We're in the personal life theme of explanation. So the unconscious voice is always doing its thing, but on the conscious side, we're constantly working out solutions. How do we fix this? How do we fix that? What do we do here? Right? And realizing doesn't matter what the solutions are, they're just temporary fixes. And then the 49 underneath it all, this potential to be very reactive or revolutionary, here I'm going to go along with the party line here, or taking it into that highest perspective of the rebel, just keeping an eye on stuff, not buying into it necessarily, right? So very, very powerful life theme, this one, explanation. It really can change people's lives. But again, the great encouragement for people with this life theme and for us during this time of this movement through this particular life theme is to be very, very careful of what we say and how we say it. Saying something just erratically, blurting it out, it's a very quick way for people to be disenchanted. So again, the encouragement, tone of voice, right? Be attuned to right times to put out, to right times to speak out. And just to recognize always, the encouragement, pay attention to your type and authority. Am I being called to say something in this moment? Is this my moment to say something? Do I actually have people around me that are capable of hearing these extraordinary downloads that come through and want expression? So very particular life theme to look at. It's hugely transformational, this life theme. Explanation, bringing about concepts and ideas that other people have never considered or been able to work out for themselves. So people with this life theme are very, very good at pointing out perhaps even impossible situations sometimes. So then we move on. The sun moves on to the fourth line, and the unconscious earth still in the 49, but in the 49 with the fourth line. And the unconscious sun has gone into gateway number 8, and the unconscious earth into gateway number 14. So we have this fixed life theme of solutions, or we could call it the fixed life theme of formulations. In life, there's a wonderful expression to think outside the box. We're talking about the fourth gate, which is very much a mental gateway. And to think outside the box, well, for the fourth line with the fourth hexagram and gateway, there isn't a box. There are no limits. There's nothing needs to be thought outside of. There's no boundaries whatsoever to what can be provided as a solution or as some kind of formulation. And so people with this particular life theme, and it's a very rare life theme, but they have this potentially extraordinary genius to be able to see way, way past what everyone else can work out and to just zone in on something. This is what needs to happen here, and very easily pointing out to other people, this is what I recognize can take place here. And it can be revolutionary or evolutionary. The thing of it is, with the unconscious gateway number 8, the unconscious sun, this is a gateway of coordination, of cooperation, of drawing people together to get people on board. It's called holding together. Can we all contribute here in a potentially creative way? And then gateway number 14 is the gateway of prosperity. And just seeing there's a potential here for us all to expand in our sense of prosperity here. This solution may be absolutely genius in resolving situations. So I bring in this word genius because I know somebody with this particular life theme, one of my clients, and the guy is absolutely amazing. Works for many of the big rock bands, and just formalizing what is their next step. What do they need to do? They're in a tight spot. They're stuck in some kind of production. And he comes up with these ideas for them that just completely opens up new possibilities. So after the personal and the fixed life theme, we move into the interpersonal life theme of the rebel. And so again, I use the word rebel because that's what I prefer to see. Some people call this life theme the life theme of revolution, right? And the possibility that there's always these changes going on, but I prefer to look at the more evolutionary possibility of the rebel. And you'll know people with this particular life theme, they have this genius of being able to rearrange things. So Sun still in the fourth and fifth lines of the fourth hexagram, and the Earth in the 49 with the fifth and sixth lines. So beginning to see ways of giving guidance or leadership or possibilities of openings to people, and taking different pathways, different possibilities. So then on the unconscious side, the 8 and the 14, both what we call the individual circuitry, both putting forward ways to morph or to launch or to move perhaps in more creative directions. The 8 is very often seen as the gateway of the agent, the one who can aim other people's creative endeavors. The 14 is very much looked at the gate of the prosperity and the producing or combination of wealth into life's prospects. So the rebel, we might look to somebody like Robin Hood, if you remember that legend, take from the rich, give to the poor. And it doesn't mean to say everybody with this does that, but this is the general energy around this life theme that I call the interpersonal life theme of the rebel. They're just seeking to expand on people's possibilities in life and going about things in a different way. And you'll probably recognize from the people that I talk about that have this life theme, there's no way they buy into other people's ways of doing things, right? They're very much doing their own thing with the concept of, expanding the possibility of wealth and cooperative effort into other people's lives. So first on the list, Ben Affleck, right? This really genius actor, director, script writer. Napoleon Bonaparte, right, did something very, very different with this. Changed the whole concept of how people were to live in Europe. Also, Jennifer Lawrence, this genius younger actress, who just somehow just takes it away whenever she gets on a movie in an acting role. And also Steve Carell, this geniusly funny actress. You never know where he's going to go next, how he can open up another possibility. So there we are. There's a few people that have this life theme. People with a personal life theme of explanation, again with this idea of doing things in a different way. Magic Johnson, yeah, this extraordinary basketball player. And then we also have Mila Kunis, brilliant actress, and Halle Berry. I mean, realizing these people have to hold their way of engaging with things, like hold that individual expression, however that comes out, but also to see they're not going to play anybody else's game. Anyway, there's a viewing at these particular life themes. Sun in the gateway number 4, Youthful Folly. So all of these life themes, 152 life themes, are in this book of destinies that Caroline and I put together. It took us 20 years to write this book. And you may wonder where we got some of the stories and ideas from, just observing how people lived their life and what was the quality of the energies behind the hexagrams. And then this is a trilogy of the human design books. First book, the human design book, in 15 languages worldwide now. So you're very much encouraged to get a copy or have another look at your particular life theme that's in the Book of Destinies. And the Book of Lines in the middle describes each of the 384 lines in full detail. So again, definitely something worth paying attention to. So that's it for now. We'll see you again next.